Welcome back to our channel, Learnify by SD, where we explore the beauty of literature. In this installment of Shakespeare Series, we venture into the intricate tapestry of Sonnet 2. Join us as we unravel the profound themes, intricate structure, and poetic devices employed by the master wordsmith. Before we dive into the poem, let's take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the life and works of the great bard himself. William Shakespeare, often considered the greatest playwright in the English language, was born in Stratford-upon-Avon, England in 1564. Shakespeare's plays, such as Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, and Hamlet, have become iconic in the realm of literature and theatre. His sonnets are equally noteworthy and offer a glimpse into his poetic genius. Shakespeare's sonnets are a collection of 154 poems written in the late 16th and early 17th centuries. Shakespeare's sonnets are written in iambic pentameter, which gives his poetry a natural and melodic flow, enhancing the overall musicality of his verses. Sonnet 2, known by its opening line, "When 40 winters shall besiege thy brow," delves into the themes of time, aging, and the preservation of beauty. Through evocative imagery and thought-provoking metaphors, Shakespeare challenges the reader to reflect upon the transience of youth and the significance of procreation. Before we dive into the depths of Sonnet 2, let's first examine its structure. This sonnet adheres to the conventional Shakespearean form composed of 14 lines in iambic pentameter and following the A-B-A-B, C-D-C-D, E-F-E-F, G-G rhyme scheme. First, I will read the sonnet for you and give you a quick overview. Once it is done, we can dive into a line-by-line breakdown. When 40 winters shall besiege thy brow, and dig deep trenches in thy beauty's field, thy youth's proud livery, so gazed on now, will be a tattered weed, of small worth held. Then being asked where all thy beauty lies, where all the treasure of thy lusty days, to say within thine own deep sunken eyes, were an all-eating shame and thriftless praise. How much more praise deserved thy beauty's use, if thou couldst answer, this fair child of mine shall sum my count and make my old excuse, proving his beauty by succession thine. This were to be new made when thou art old, and see thy blood warm when thou feelest it cold. In Sonnet 2, the speaker addresses a young man, urging him to consider the effects of aging on his physical appearance. The poem begins by envisioning a future scenario where 40 winters have passed and the man's once youthful and admired beauty is now faded and worn. The imagery of deep trenches and a tattered weed suggests the inevitable signs of aging and the decline of physical attractiveness. The speaker then poses a rhetorical question, asking the man where the beauty and the vitality of his youth will be found at that time. The answer, according to the speaker, should not be within the man's own eyes, which have become sunken and lacking in the vibrancy they once held. Such an answer would be a source of shame and empty praise. Instead, the speaker suggests that the man's beauty would be better served if he could point to a child and say, "This fair child of mine shall sum my count and make my old excuse." In other words, the man's beauty would be perpetuated and celebrated through the continuation of his lineage. The child would be a testament to his youthful beauty and serve as an excuse or justification for his aging appearance. The final couplet emphasizes the idea that by having a child, the man can experience a form of rejuvenation. He can feel his blood warm and his legacy live on through the future generations. He suggests that procreation and the passing on of one's beauty through offspring can offer a sense of immortality and vitality even in old age. Sonnet 2 explores the transient nature of physical beauty and highlights the importance of legacy and procreation as a means of preserving one's beauty and significance beyond the limitations of time. Now let's see the meaning behind each line of the sonnet. When 40 winters shall besiege thy brow, and dig deep trenches in thy beauty's field. In the first line, Shakespeare sets the stage for a reflection on the passage of time and its effect on our physical appearance. He metaphorically compares the harshness of winter to the wrinkles that will eventually appear on our foreheads as we age. This line suggests that when you have experienced 40 harsh winters, which metaphorically represents a significant period of time, the signs of aging will become visible on your forehead. In simple words, when you reach the age of 40, the signs of aging will appear on your forehead in the shape of wrinkles. As we move on to the next line, Shakespeare employs vivid imagery to depict the wrinkles and lines that time etches upon our once youthful and vibrant faces. These deep trenches symbolize the visible signs of aging that we will inevitably experience. The sonnet goes on to reflect on the transitory nature of beauty. Shakespeare writes, "Thy youth's proud livery, so gazed on now, will be a tattered weed, of small worth held." This line refers to the attractive appearance that you possess in your youth. The phrase, youth's proud livery, implies that your youthful beauty is like an impressive and eye-catching uniform that is admired and observed by others. In the second line, Shakespeare contrasts the current admiration of your youth with the future, where your once glorious and highly valued beauty will become insignificant and worthless. The comparison to a tattered weed emphasizes the loss of attractiveness and the diminished worth of physical appearance with the passage of time. These powerful lines suggest that the youthful beauty we often receive admiration for will eventually fade and lose its value, just like a worn-out and insignificant weed. Then being asked where all thy beauty lies? Where all the treasure of thy lusty days? In this line, Shakespeare imagines a future scenario where someone asks you where your beauty has gone, pointing to the inevitable decline that accompanies aging. In the second line, he poses a question about the disappearance of the allure and vibrancy of your youthful days. These lines highlight the ephemeral nature of physical attractiveness and the fleeting nature of youthful energy and passion. To say within thine own deep sunken eyes, were an all-eating shame and thriftless praise. The suggested response to the question posed in the previous line is to claim that all your beauty now resides within your sunken eyes. This would imply that your eyes, despite the effects of aging, still hold the remnants of your once youthful beauty. In the second line, we can see that to make such a claim would be a source of shame, as it would indicate a self-absorbed perspective, and it will also be pointless as it would not bring any practical value or benefit. How much more praise deserved thy beauty's use, if thou couldst answer, this fair child of mine? The poet argues that your beauty would be more deserving of praise if it could serve a greater purpose, or have a lasting impact beyond physical appearance alone. The poet suggests that a more meaningful response to the question of where your beauty lies would be to point to your child, who represents the continuation of your lineage and embodies the beauty and legacy that you pass on. Shall some my count and make my old excuse, proving his beauty by succession thine? The child is portrayed as someone who will carry on your legacy, becoming a source of pride and a justification for your aging appearance. They become a count or a representation of your worth and serve as an excuse or explanation for your old age. The second line suggests that the child's beauty is derived from you and therefore, by their very existence, they confirm and validate your own beauty and significance. The word succession refers to the passing down of traits and characteristics from one generation to another. This were to be new made when thou art old, and see thy blood warm when thou feelest it cold. If this scenario were to come true, if your child were to carry on your beauty and legacy, it would provide a sense of renewal or rejuvenation even in your old age. The concluding line metaphorically describes the emotional and spiritual warmth that comes from knowing that your legacy lives on. It suggests that even as you physically experience the coldness of old age, the existence and actions of your child will bring a sense of vitality and warmth to your life. In summary, Sonnet 2 explores the passage of time, the fading of physical beauty, and the desire for one's legacy to continue through future generations. It contrasts the temporary nature of youthful beauty with the enduring impact of familial lineage, suggesting that true beauty and significance are found in the continuation of one's lineage and the impact one has on others. Sonnet 2 unveils the profundity of Shakespeare's contemplation on the transient nature of beauty, and the significance of procreation in preserving one's legacy. Through exquisite imagery and thought-provoking metaphors, he challenges us to ponder the value we assign to physical appearance and the role of offspring in shaping our identity. That concludes our analysis of Shakespeare's Sonnet 2. We hope this exploration has enlightened you and deepened your appreciation for the complexities of the Bard's sonnet. Join us in our next video as we continue our journey. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more captivating content.